All right, greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are for yet another Buster Wolf podcast. Today we're talking about the Mortal Kombat 1 preliminary discussion because the game is not out yet, but we're talking about all the trailers, Kombat Kasts, the characters we've seen so far, and of course all the leaked discussion. So my name is Renegade Operative, I am the host, and first I'd like to introduce Brendel.
What's poppin', everybody? Glad to be back here. Let's start some Mortal Kombat.
Next up is Kaneki.
Oh, I got cut off. Fuck. I said Mortal Kombat, but thanks, Discord.
Oh, yeah, I just noticed that too. Mortal it just died. Next up, we have Justin.
Yo.
Next up, we have Nikki.
Hi everyone, I'm ready for some combat talk. Combat time, like they used to say on the cartoon.
Johnny Cage says that too in this game, but we'll get to that later. Next, we have Mr. Jojo.
Damn it, Nikki, I was gonna say that in my intro. You took it away from me. How you doing, everybody?
I'm sorry.
And
Okay.
as we rightfully forget Mr. Drillbit, we'll move on to question number 1. So, the first question... Alright, Drillbit, introduce yourself.
Yeah,
Me double
hey
taking there.
everyone. Hope nobody forgot me.
Oh no, I'm just kidding. So we're moving on to the first question here. This is question number 1. What are your general thoughts on the first reveal trailer for Mortal Kombat 1? And I guess people can sort of pitch in and chime in as we go along. That's the format.
Well,
Go first. If you don't mind.
Oh yeah, you can go ahead and go first. Go ahead.
Yeah. So all right. So I'm gonna set the stage here though. I was like very, very disappointed with MP11 in terms of the narrative side of things, mostly. So I went into this trailer with the most checked expectations possible, right? But even still, like, dude, I was so excited to see it, man, because like it's Mortal Kombat, man. Like, it's hard to not get excited for it, right? Even through the worst of times, man, like people were gonna stick with this IP. So yeah, it's coming out of the initial reveal trailer, and like I was super excited to see literally a new take of this universe. Considering that Liu Kang is now the keeper of time / the guardian of Earthrealm, whatever. So for him to literally just do a clean slate and change up the mythos the way he is right now, which we get into later, yeah, I'd say like the initial trailer definitely surpassed my expectations.
Go ahead, Jojo.
I was pretty satisfied so far. Like Brandel said, I really like how we've got this in a rebooted universe, meaning we're getting like the same characters, but they're all gonna have different backstories. I do like the gameplay we got in this so far. I am very, very relieved we're getting the breakers back. I've been wanting that for a while. And so far the character roster, some of it I've been questioning, but a lot of it I've been rooting for, like Smoke. I'm happy he's back. So this is definitely going to be a game to pre-order. It comes out in September, right?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to have to plan to put down money for that when it comes out on Xbox. Don't even think I'm going to be playing this on a computer.
Okay, so I mean, I was excited. Granted, I'm probably one of the only people here that really liked 11 a lot. So, because I get a lot of rage quits, I always post them, and it's just hilarious. So, going into it though, I knew they burnt the timeline asunder. So I figured that they were gonna restart things again. It's not the first time that Mortal Kombat restarted timelines, as you could tell with how they handled Mortal Kombat 9. Being a little reboot of a sense. So I knew it was kind of gonna happen, but I kind of like how the roles are changed up. Like, it's not just your traditional Raiden starts the tournament, he's looking for Earthrealm fighters and he's going around trying to find people. So it didn't really bother me in terms of how they were handling it, and I guess the ending sort of set that up from 11. But overall I enjoyed it. I like the whole I think we were being cock teased the whole entire time before, because they were counting down the clock and it said 12 to 1. I'm like, oh, what does that mean? And then the leaker said, oh, it's gonna be Mortal Kombat 1. I still am not feeling the name. I think that's kind of confusing because
It's very confusing.
yeah, You think Mortal
Honestly-
Kombat 1 and you think, oh, well, is it the immediate first one or just this one? This is very confusing.
It's like a pet peeve I have in like media in general, where they name sequels like either after the first one, like Scream 5 is Scream, Halloween 2018 is just Halloween, etc. It's just really annoying and confusing because now we got 3 games named Mortal Kombat.
We had 2 games named Mortal Kombat. The first one is still abbreviated as MK1 by most people, and then you got MK1
Yeah.
officially named that for the 3rd timeline. So like, it's like, what's going on here, man? Like, come on, can you guys stay consistent with the names? Like, you already went with the number settings with X because X means 10. You got 11. Just go with 12. Keep things consistent.
Or subtitles, Deception, Deadly Alliance, Armageddon. Yeah.
They could have called it Mortal Kombat 12, the New Realm, or something like that.
Call it Rebirth. Yeah.
Or New Era, or New Era.
Yeah, something corny like that.
Essentially, it
But
is
not
new era for
MK1.
everyone.
Yeah, because when someone says, "Oh, I'm gonna play MK1," and they're like, "What? You mean the '91 game, the 2011 game, or the new one?"
Oh,
It's like at that point, it's going to be another one of those instances where you just say the year that it came out afterwards, like how you call like God of War, like what was it,
2018. It's 2018.
2018.
Or how
Modern
everyone
Warfare.
calls MK 2011 just MK9, even though it's officially just called Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, even developers call it MK9, so it's by its purposes official.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As for me, I'm pretty excited. I think, I mean, I don't know if the story really needed a reboot again, but it's really interesting to see where they're going to go with this. Based on what we've seen already, it seems that, you know, a lot of characters' roles are mishmashed around, and I'm just really curious to see what Liu Kang will do with this new quote-unquote utopia that he's created.
Well, given the shit show that was MK11 storytelling, yeah, they needed a reboot. Because like they already
Mhm.
did
Yeah,
a lot.
I feel like
Yeah, that's true though. The story for MK1 was very MK11, excuse me, was very convoluted. Is that the word?
Yeah, kind of loaded, retcon, heaven and back, and among other things. Like, yeah, they honestly needed a reboot just for the inconsistencies alone.
Aftermath
Yeah, it's
was
pretty messy.
definitely then just saying shit.
I just think you get this with all time travel stories, to be honest. You're gonna have some weird shit happen one way or the other. It's only very,
You're
very few stories that do time travel correctly, in my opinion.
It is so.
You're right though, but the way they did it in 11, it just felt so deliberately antagonistic against was perfectly established.
Well, you kind of already got that with like some of the other timelines as well, how they handle certain things. So I'm just like,
Terminator.
I'm just kind of like, well, fresh slate, I guess, to start over and to put these characters in better positions. So I truly don't mind it. Like I said, I'm one of the few in the class that actually really enjoys MK11. But I can tell you now, the fact that people were so confused at the way the original game ended and they had to do aftermath, I'm just like, yeah, what direction are we going into at first? Because people were so confused. If Lou's gonna erase the timeline, is he gonna fix it, do something with it, and then he's warned? So it's a lot of stuff. I'm glad they're starting over from square one, so we don't have all this confusion on top of us.
Speaking of aftermath, they made things even more confusing and convoluted.
I wouldn't be
So, you can't
surprised.
win.
That
You can't win.
that is one I did not play, but I did see some of the endings. It's like some of those new characters he approached are not even in Mortal Kombat 1, so I guess they're setting that up for sequels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyone else on the first reveal
Yeah.
trailer?
It was definitely an interesting trailer. Like how they showed off like Liu Kang's new realm. Obviously, how like the new Raiden, which is weird because now they just made him young again, and sadly, you don't see him with like the wide eyes or deep voice anymore.
Right, because
Yeah,
he's
no,
a
Richard
human
Epcar.
now.
You don't have Richard Epcar, so he's not.
Yep.
not ready.
No, they should have got it back, but just have the young Raiden have a deep voice for no reason.
See, like that's cool and all, though, but considering that this is young Raiden, not old Raiden, it would be kind of clashing with the physical side of Raiden
I
versus
know,
the voice.
but it would have just been a joke.
At least he doesn't have like blonde hair, and he does like 5,000 backflips like Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That was
Oh
that
god,
was dark.
Highlander.
that movie sucked.
Oh my god.
Honestly, the one thing I couldn't unsee is people saying that Liu Kang looked like LTG mixed with Dr. Han.
Jesus Christ.
For the love of God. Okay. Anyone else on this first question before Liu Kang decides to delete us all from this timeline?
Uh-oh.
No,
hope he
I think we're
doesn't.
good.
Joke's on him. I deleted him.
Well, everyone's OP is him now, but that's another question entirely. So, moving on to the second one. What are your thoughts on the cameo system in general? I'll go really quickly. I mean, for more or less purposes, it's fine. Like you throw out your little move or whatever, and it just functions. You know what I mean? You hit someone with an extra hit, or you extend your combo. I do have some experience playing it because I did play the beta. I got lucky and got in due to my sure buddy Brandon. So I really didn't mind it per se, but there is issues, and I think everyone who played it knows this, where certain cameos will hit you, like Jax when he does ground pound, and I'm like, this is the stupidest thing ever. Why would they implement this where your own cameo can like hit you and disrupt the match? It's bad.
I guess they was for a balance reason because they were afraid of unblockable setups, so they had to put a detriment on it.
That's true. It is unblockable.
It's just
I
one
get
way or
the
the other.
reason why from a design point of view, but they could have just made it where it could only hit low or something.
Yeah.
And you can still block it.
Yeah, but I guess it's one of those things where it's like, hey, you throw it out, you see it the first time, and it hits you. People are gonna be quite angry about that.
I haven't played the betas, but is cameo? How do you do cameo? Is it like it's
You press
dedicated button?
R1.
Oh, so it's a dedicated button. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stance.
Alright.
It used to be a stance switch button. Now it actually has a use.
Oh no, this stance button is still there. It's like I said, it's R1 on the controller.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Stance is L1, I believe.
No,
But-
it's L2.
Oh,
I
L2.
haven't played it, but I don't know. Like cameos remind me a bit like MVC1 this, except without where you can just call other characters and they're like unplayable characters. Like in MVC1, you could call Thor, Jubilee, or other Capcom characters that didn't make it.
Yeah, I
Oh.
remember that system. That's what I was thinking about. But it also confused me too because people were saying like cameo characters aren't playable. We got Johnny Cage playable and as a cameo, but someone corrected me saying that the cameo versions like classic Johnny Cage from I guess the old timelines, that's kind of the role the cameos are filling now.
Well, basically what it is if you see a classic cameo character, they said that in interviews, those characters are supposed to embody their older looks per se. So of course you have the new looks now where Johnny Cage looks different in the lavender shirt or whatever the fuck he's wearing. And classic Johnny Cage would be probably like Johnny Cage from MK1 or MK2 where he had the red trend on his pants. So I just think that it's just a nostalgic thing with some of the older characters as well as implementing like some of the newer characters into cameos. Also, I never used Style Switch, so I didn't even know that still existed in this game.
Yeah, like I think what bugs me about the cameo system the most is like how we've got how like classic characters that people expect to be in the game are just cameos now, like Jax and Sonya and Kano. It's hard to imagine a Mortal Kombat game without them playable, but they're just cameos now.
Well, they're not confirmed to be game yet, right? So like, we still got time to see their confirmation.
Yeah, we
so,
still got time, so fingers crossed on that one.
Honestly,
DLC.
the cameo system just makes me think they're just gonna put all of like the less popular characters there, like Stryker, Darius, etc.
Yep,
I was just gonna say like Striker, yeah.
all cameos, by the way. That's why they're there.
Yeah.
I could go next if Ivrin done.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Well, I'm gonna go and speak on it both on the first impression on seeing it and as hands-on experience. At first, well, for starters, though, it is pretty much MK's gimmick of the week because MK, I'll say 11 had the whole regeneration meter type thing and their offense defense type system, and then you got MKX, which is just MK1 on steroids with the cinema system, right? So it's pretty much the gimmick of the week for MK, right? But that being said, though, like on initial impressions, though, I was not digging it because I'm like, why do we need an assist fighter inside, Mortal Kombat, right? But getting the hands-on experience with the stress test, I must say though, like I'm actually sold on the concept of cameo fighters because it honestly can completely change your playstyle based on the cameo you choose. For example, Sonya was my personal favorite one, and it's really not the most common because I do like to use air combos, right? So she can extend your air combos. Jax can make some pretty interesting unblockable setups if you're using Liu Kang. And then you got who's the last one? Kano. Kano is sort of like the zoner or the placeholder for certain characters. Like if you Sub Zero, keep them in place so you can throw a freeze ball and continue combo string. So I'm very intrigued on how they can continue with other characters or show other characters with the cameo system because it really could make or break your character setup. But all in all, yes, I am a firm believer. But there's certain like tweaks that got changed, which they're doing, thankfully, with the Kombat Kasts to confirm that grabs and whatnot are actually a lot faster now compared to what they were in the stress test.
That's good because I had moments where I swear I called Jax when I was doing an air combo with Liu Kang, and he took 8 years, and then the other cameo just stuffed him. And then I think also, because I noticed this as well, when you are fighting someone and they hit the cameo will turn red, and I heard that causes you to take more damage. Is that still a
No,
thing?
so no, see, you take damage based on the cameo you that get hit.
Yeah.
So like if your guy gets interrupted though, you will take the damage for it though. And when they glow red, that means they're temporarily disabled for a while. So that's what it is.
Okay, because I was so confused on why once I got hit, I was like, oh, I'm just getting fucked in the corner by the Sub-Zero then. But yeah, if they're disabled sometimes, and that's cool, but I don't know how I feel about the other part. But it's overall fine. It's not as bothersome as people have said. It's just kind of there as you fight along and do combo strings, and it might even save your ass because it saved my ass a couple of times when someone was doing a super and they got stuffed. So anyone else? Anyone else?
Nothing new for a fighting game system.
Yeah.
It's been seen in other games before. I really don't mind it either. I know some people think MVC, but for some, like, what I thought of was the fucking, of all things, the Demon Slayer fighting game, because it has a similar system. It's just that you actually pick someone from the playable roster as like an assistant character.
But the reason why I say the Marvel vs. Capcom because it's the most familiar most people would be with as far as like this is concerned, and it's a separate cast of characters, unlike like other assist fighters.
I don't say nothing wrong with that. It's just what I immediately thought of when I saw the system in play at first.
Hey, that's fair enough. Anyone else on the cameos that will help you out?
I have a feel like in the long term, cameos is going to be a problem if they don't balance it right.
I've seen some of the new ones. Cyrax is gonna be the number one because I'm just gonna be netting people with that dude and doing bombs but I will say at least it has meter, so you just can't simply spam it.
I would have said Cyrax, but then you see the Scorpion cameo where he could basically save you.
Yeah.
I do have a question about the cameo system that I don't know if was answered or not. Like, is there variety to the cameos? Like, can I make a cameo do more than one attack when they come out, or can they do a different attack depending on the situation? Or
I can answer this for you. So the cameos are definitely varied based on the character. So like I mentioned, Sonya, she can do like an air attack with her cameo assist. So it goes into like I think a neutral button. So just press the assist button. Either you hold left, right, and down to do a different type of attack for the character. So for Sonya, she has her leg grab, she has her ring blast, and I forgot what the other one she has. So
Okay,
yeah,
so there is variety. Okay, good. There's variety in the characters. I'm glad to hear that. Good.
yeah.
Yeah, they also have their independent moves to not only do those moves that Brandon mentioned, but also extend them in combos and it's differing inputs as well as the air, and they can do extended like EX moves too. So it's a lot of variety there once you sit there and experiment. It's really cool. So anyone else on the cameos before we move on? Going once, going twice, sold to the Outworld Hooker in red. So we're gonna move on. Scarlet, yeah. Now you think about it.
Does it say Outworld has hookers?
Oh, I mean, you seen Shao Kahn's concubine? Yeah, plenty of those there.
Yeah, he does actually.
Right.
Yeah, and his win pose too. So we're gonna move on to question number 3. What do you think? Now it's gonna be a long question, but what do you think of some of the storyline changes, decisions, and different directions that is being taken with the current roster of characters?
Oh man, we should probably put a spoiler warning for this one because we got a lot of new information in the last 24 hours.
Oh,
Well,
so lay spoilers at this part. If you are going into this game and wanting to play it and not wanting to be spoiled, then yes, it will be spoiler time at this point. So, I don't know where to begin. Brandon, you start off with this one.
Okay. Well, I want to start with the Lin Kuei side of things because this is the most exciting one. So we got confirmation that Scorpion is now officially Kuai Lang, not Hanzo, which is interesting. Because I think now the Kuai Lang and Bihon are twins, right? Am I wrong about that? So
They're brothers, at least. I don't know if they said they were.
I think
twins
Bihan
or
is
not.
still older.
They're not twins. They're not twins.
they're twins? Okay, because I remember reading somewhere that they were twins, right? So I'm like, okay, so if that means that if Hanzo is now, no, we at the time we thought it would be Hanzo, right? Because he's Scorpion, right? So I'm like, okay, so Hanzo and Bihon are twins, so that means Kuai Lang will still be around as a second Sub-Zero. So, but nope, yeah, this completely flipped the storytelling on his head. So this begs the question though, where's going to happen to Hanzo? Like, is he going to be Noob Saibot? Is he going to be Bihon Kuai Lang's father? Maybe? Question mark.
Oh,
Remember,
it was
remember,
speculated
Bihon-
that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I
was gonna
thinking,
say it
like-
was. I'm sorry.
that's funny.
I'll stop.
I'll make this quick. Is since Bihon and Hanzo don't like each other in the original and second timeline, right? It could be theorized maybe that's why Bihon doesn't like their father.
Yeah, because one of his quotes is like, "Die like my father." And I'm like, well, that probably is going somewhere, showing more of his downfall. That he's the one that is charging into the stronghold and wanting to kill all the people in there. Also quotes. So Bihon is like just basically still Bihon. He's a dick. He's an asshole.
Still angry.
He's still angry. He's still an asshole, and I think that's going to break up the group and sort of spiral them into chaos when it comes to Smoke, who's the carrying one with Scorpion. And I'm trying to wait and see how that goes. But the Lin Kuei is just so far awesome. Their looks, design, how they're being integrated into the story, everything.
Yeah, I heard speculation and rumor that it was possible that Smoke's real identity was gonna be Hanzo Hasashi, but I mean, I'd be okay with that, to be honest. Though that would mean what would happen to.
Too.
Yeah, that got deconfirmed.
Yeah.
Oh, that got
he's
so it's gonna
still
be.
come off.
Okay, fair enough. Then maybe that means that Hanzo Hasashi, like Brandel said, is gonna end up maybe being this new noob Saibot. In that case, like, do you think his powers are gonna be different, or?
I think he still might have his have new shadow powers though. But if they're going to do like a twist on it though, they should give him both fire and shadow. Like maybe give him his teleport as well as like the little portal thing he does to suck people up to like the shit in MK11.
Just give him like from the old Noob Saibot, where other than his shadows, he does like half of Scorpion's moves originally.
Yeah, I was gonna say, remember MK2 where he could do Scorpion Spear just like in MK.
Oh god,
Noob Saibot did it too in MK2.
Yeah, he did.
Like Noob in MK2. He's literally just like Smoke, only he's all shadow instead of a ninja.
And that actually opens up a lot of possibilities then for the story
exactly.
as well.
Yeah,
Also, honestly,
I would be curious to see if Noob Saibot ends up as his own entity.
Yeah. But yeah, the story stuff is like, it seems like they are definitely taking it in different directions. Like now Tarkatans are a disease, which is an interesting thing. I mean, I wonder.
Melina's not finally fucking ugly for now.
Yeah, the Tarkatans have, at least in lore, in the original timeline, for the most part, always had been like a mutant class type of
Yeah.
creatures. So like them being diseased, doesn't necessarily change that much as far as like their race is concerned. But how to put, I guess the emotional baggage behind the Tarkatan race is definitely different. If you go about the recent trailer with Baraka, like he literally said like death is the only reprieve for our people. Yeah.
That's a fucking metal ass line.
Yeah, so basically they're looked down upon and basically discriminated.
Yeah, it seems like Baraka just accepted being a bloodthirsty maniac, which, I mean, if the disease is affecting the brain too, then I guess that makes perfect sense in my opinion.
No, what I wanna know about the story is that since Raiden and Liu Kang are kind of switching places, like Raiden's the Earthrealm champion, and Liu Kang's the god who's like the mentor character. And in the trailers, Raiden, despite being a human, has his like lightning powers. I'm like, wait a minute, how did he get those? Like,
I could explain this actually. No, this is not
Okay.
fact. Is there speculation though? But in MK11 though, when he got his powers, he was named the God of Fire and Thunder. He even had the lightning effects of some of his sex, right? I'm
Yeah.
speculating that it's possible that Raiden could be the Great Kung Lao now, but that's it. That's just speculation. It's possible that Liu Kang gave up his lightning powers to give it to Raiden, whoever this Raiden is.
Oh yeah, because in the MK1 trailer, Liu Kang refers to himself as the God of Fire. Just
Mhm.
fire. That's it.
Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah,
have no
I could
lightning
accept
effects
that.
whatsoever. So it's
Mhm.
possible that he gave it up to Raiden.
I also like how Rain's backstory is like, I don't think he's gonna be an Edenian half god anymore, but he's like a mage. He looks like an RPG mage. I freaking love it. I love Rain's new look in this game. I love it.
And I don't think Adenia exists in this timeline right now because it seems to be Outworld, which is unfortunate. 'cause
Oh,
I
he's
love
a
Edenia.
wizard.
Oh, you're a wizard, Harry.
Yeah, he was at what's that Harry Potter playset that they all do magic in?
Oh fuck.
I was gonna say he looks like Mitsuo with Dragon Quest or something.
Ah, there we go. There it is. Yes.
But I'm also very curious of what they're gonna do with the timeline, or what they're doing with the whole story. And having Kuai Liang as Scorpion is very interesting. Like, I'm gonna give a little spoiler alert here. Sorry, everyone.
Oh, no,
But
it's
I
fine.
did see the extended Lin Kuei trailer where they were going into what seemed to be the Temple of the Elements, I think, and they were showing like an argument between Smoke, Sub-Zero, and Bihan and Kuai Liang. And what they were saying was basically like they had an argument over their ideals, and Kuai Liang says to him, "Well, why are you so concerned with victory and glory? We're just supposed to honor." And Bihan is like, "God, shut up! I hear my father in every word you say to me." Like, so it's definitely shows that there was some kind of conflict between Bihan and the father, whomever this father happens to be, and that they're both aware that he's dead and that possibly not Kuai Liang, I'm sorry, that Bihan was his killer, or they're looking for his killer or something. But I think the Lin Kuei is probably going to have the most interesting story within the whole story mode. And we'll see, because we can also see with the emotion with having Smoke in the middle of it, with him being the more bleeding heart character of the three, that does he get caught in the middle of their conflict? Does he, you know what I mean?
And that if he does get caught in the middle, though, it'll be interesting because since Kuai Lang and Smoke are like bros, right? Not biological, of course, right? But they're obviously very close, right? But then you get the
Yeah,
original
they've been closer.
timeline.
Yeah.
You get the original timeline where Noob Bihan forced Smoke to supplicate his actions because he's a cyborg, so he was able to do that. But obviously that's not the case here. But like it'll be interesting to see like if he will try to wait to peer pressure or force Smoke to do what he needs to be done.
Yeah, like I had this like thought that maybe like if there was supposed to be a separate or if there is to be a separation between Bihan and Kuai Liang, that Bihan would like hold him hostage or something, hold Smoke hostage for in order to get Kuai Liang's attention or something like that.
I definitely think he's gonna be the suspect one when it comes to their missions, and I wouldn't be surprised because he's gonna betray somebody's gonna get betrayed by Bihan. That's kind of how he works. So I won't be surprised if it's Smoke or if it's someone else or just the team suffers because he wants more power. It seems like he wants to, and I can tell. I know people say, "Oh, pre-fight dialogue, non-canon or whatever," but it seems he really wants more power, even when fighting with Liu Kang and being in the Temple of the Secrets. So I think he's going to dabble in there, and that's when the friction is going to happen.
Oh, speaking of pre-fight dialogue, man, like the big bad has been leaked out so early.
Onaga?
Yeah.
Well, the Dragon King?
Oh, yeah.
For some weird reason, I think if he shows up, it's going to be a tease, but if we're leading to that direction where they're finally like, hey, we're going to do our own rendition of Deception, then I'm gonna have to be busting some nuts. It's just gonna have to happen.
Well, like if we're gonna talk about like leaks and whatnot, right? Because that's gonna be major spoilers, right? So I'm not sure if you're gonna be okay with that or anyone else here will be okay to hear that stuff.
It's up to you guys.
No objections from me.
Objections?
Whatever you guys want.
No, okay.
All
Come
right.
again?
Are you okay with talking about some leaks about the story?
Yeah,
Oh,
go
of
ahead.
course, that's fine.
All right, cool. So apparently, so Damashi, if you play Deception, you know who Damashi is. It's the one going to be leading Shang Tsung into doing his shenanigans, right? That right there already blatantly confirms that Onaga is in the story in some fashion. And whether it be a physical appearance, we don't know yet, obviously. But yes, Onaga is definitely playing a big role in this story. And the fact that he's leading Shang Tsung over.
You mean Shujinko?
No. Shang Tsung is going to be apparently going to the league story. I'm not. This is not confirmed or not yet though. But Shang Tsung is going to be influenced by Damashi, aka Onaga, in the MK1 story.
Okay. What about Shujinko then? Did Shujinko get brought up in this leak at all? I'm curious.
No, I haven't seen his name personally.
All right, because if Onaga is going to be involved, I wonder if Shujinko is going to come back somehow. Because they keep bringing him up in endings. That's it.
Yeah, I do hope him and like Taven and Dagon get mentioned again, or at least returned in some fashion.
Yeah.
Because you cannot have Shujinko without Onaga, in my honest opinion, or at least some connection to the comic dokus. Because even MKX comic books had that connection between him and the comic dokus.
Yep, he was the protagonist of Deception, and Onaga is the antagonist. So it'd be weird to have one and not have the other. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm glad they're bringing back at least more 3D era characters, not forgetting about them.
Yep, like Li Mei. I mean, I actually love the way Li Mei looks in this game. She looks awesome. I love it.
All right, so before we move on, is there anyone else that wants to bring up any other changes to the characters? I kind of have one, and that's sort of reading the room and asking people what do they think of Johnny Cage being a normal dude, because they took away his Mediterranean god powers.
I kind of wish they would have kept this green energy because it's been a staple for most of the series.
Okay, hold up. In the original game, though, he had his green powers. Because in lore, his powers were not around until some point in time during the events of first Mortal Kombat or after, he was able to get his green powers activated.
I think all he had was just nut punch and the kick, but it wasn't like the enhanced one.
But
he had his green powers in MK1 and MK9.
No, I know MK9. No, I'm not talking about 9. I'm talking about the original game. He had his green.
Yeah, he did. He was able to throw green fireballs, remember?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I haven't played it in a while. But the thing is, though, like in lore, though, his powers didn't activate until something happened, right? which is obviously it's been sort of retcon-ish in MK9 and 10. But in cutscenes though, you don't see him use his green powers until in MKX. So take that how you will. And what makes sense here is that maybe after MK1, whatever next gonna be called MK2 with actual number, maybe he gets green powers then via whatever story event that would lead up to him having his green powers activated.
Well, all right. As a Johnny Cage main, I am going to miss the green ball, but I mean we'll talk about this in the gameplay section, which is coming soon, but they gave him a lot more, and he's kind of a little bit, the way he could rush people down now is absolute insanity. I am going to miss it. I think he is going to get it again just through some other way, and I can't really think of a reason why Liu Kang would take away Raiden's, like, no, he would give Raiden the lightning powers and he's a noob, and not give him to Johnny, even though he's gonna go seek out Johnny in the first place. The only other reason I can think of is he thinks Johnny's gonna be irresponsible, which I mean, I kind of guess it's Johnny Cage, so I guess that, but yeah, that's the only other reason I can think of. But I think he's gonna get it back with time.
Well, like I mentioned though, I think it needs to be activated this time around.
Oh yeah,
again, like it happened in MKX.
That'd be cool.
Can I also bring another thing up about Johnny?
What's up?
So apparently Johnny and Kenshi are still friends from bringing that friendship back from MKX. So perhaps maybe Kenshi is the one who introduces Johnny to some powers, or
is that? I mean, because in the trailer we showed them like sort of talking, and he wants his sword. So of course they have familiarity with each other, of course, but it seems like he's not willing to give it back up. So I guess he donated it to him or something.
Antagonistic, I don't know.
Yeah, so
it might be after the fact though. He started to become more cordial, considering that it's his family sword. He wants his shit back at all costs. It makes sense.
Yeah. So it's one of those situations where it's like maybe they could be friends, but now they're butting heads given the context that we actually see.
Mm-hmm. I know there was one conversation, and it might have been between two Kenshis where Kenshi was like, "Well, what's your Johnny Cage like?" And both Kenshis agreed, he's an asshole.
Mm-hmm. That's funny.
It's the one constant, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Any other storyline changes people want to kind of mention and bring up?
I do, but it involves oh no, wait, that's for a later question. Never mind, go ahead.
All right then. So we can move on to the next question, which is trailers. We've seen a bunch of information. Obviously, it's crunch time to get all that information out because the game is coming out very relatively soon. So we saw the first reveal trailer with the Liu Kang talking about time. Then we saw the gameplay reveal. Then we saw the Lin Kuei one, and now this recent one with Tanya and Li Mei. So what do people think of the trailers, and given what they've seen in those trailers, which one is your favorite?
Mine was probably the I would say mine was the one where they revealed where they did the smoke reveal, to be honest, because I was the Lin Kuei one, mainly because the Lin Kuei is my favorite faction in all of Mortal Kombat, and like Smoke was one of those characters I was really, really hoping to appear, and then once I saw him, I was like, yes. So that I would say that is my favorite trailer. That and because of that one, we learned more about the relationship between Kuai Liang and Bi-Han, aka Scorpion and Sub-Zero, respectively.
My favorite personally would be the initial gameplay trailer they showed off after the announcement, because they're able to show off so much story detail while also giving us more gameplay, or just pure gameplay as well. That music was pretty lit, so I would say that was my favorite trailer so far, right next to the Lin Kuei trailer and then the recent one.
Yeah, the Lin Kuei one was my favorite, definitely. I mean, I'm a Lin Kuei fangirl, so of course, and seeing Smoke for the first time in gaming, or in these MK games in years, I definitely jumped maybe 10 feet in the air, and like, yay! It's really, really happy to have him back. And are you guys making fun of me?
Yes, we're.
All that freaking.
At least you're honest.
All it needs is a freaking sitcom freeze with just the credits, and it's just like, there you go.
It's hard for me to say. Well, I guess I'm gonna say my favorite trailer was the first gameplay reveal because I think that is the trailer that saved Summer Games Fest. That's what everyone was waiting for, and we got it, and we were all super excited as to what was going on, and that was the most hyped one. I feel just on pure sheer gameplay alone because we've been waiting for it for like quite some time, and we finally got it. And then I would say the Lin Kuei one because everyone saw the ninjas doing their thing, teleporting, beating people up, and they got smoked back after like years of not having this character playable. And then the recent one is also pretty good. Not as hype as the other ones, in my opinion, but I'm kind of glad I get to play as Tanya again. So my main is currently back. And in terms of the last one that I feel is probably bottom, I'm gonna say it was the initial teaser. Not because I wasn't excited or anything, but because it was CGI. So compared to like just seeing raw gameplay, that it was very low on the totem pole in my opinion, but I was just glad the game was coming out and I wanted to see more. So that's kind of how I feel about trailer reveals from, top to bottom.
Yeah.
I'm really happy they showed it that was like the first or second trailer that they showed at the Summer Games thing because we didn't have to sit through all that other stuff.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be nice and I'm gonna say the other stuff, not the crap that we had to see afterwards. So
Well, I mean, I was kind of excited for the Alan Wake 2 stuff, but I can definitely agree they
that is
kind of
cool.
showed out, the first sort of trailer. I was like, oh, it's time for us to see this. Well, it is time, and everyone else had their varying interests, so I can sort of see that.
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah, because it's like, show me up front what I kind of want, and then you can leave everything to the back end of the show after the fact.
Yeah.
right.
Anyone else on favorite trailers and how they felt
But
about
I
it?
mean, Ren took my answer, so yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so I'm
definitely the second one for sure.
gonna be boring and also agree with the Lin Kuei trailer. That just seems to be the consensus I'm noticing now.
Yeah, that one was really good because you're introducing a character that we haven't seen since
It's
MK9.
ninjas.
Yeah, and it's
How could you not
ninjas.
be hyped for ninjas.
I actually just saw that trailer in my Relateds again not too long before we started and said, "Fuck it, why not?" I'm in the Mortal Kombat mood because of tonight.
Oh yeah, and the ninjas are like just prolific. They've been there since the beginning. A lot of people, they always ask in Mortal Kombat like discussions or anything, how many ninjas are gonna make it in this game and how many are gonna get cut. So it's always an ongoing thing. So I thought that was the perfect time to have the second trailer.
Look,
Hey.
look,
I'm not a ninja. I'm a Lin Kuei. Scorpion is a ninja.
Yes.
if they want all the ninjas, just bring back Chameleon.
Man.
Well, we got Chameleon with the K as a cameo fighter, so there's hope for C1.
Isn't it? Hold on. So I'm quite confused by that. There's a little sidebar, but the one with the K is the female.
Female.
Okay.
Yep, the one that was in the Nintendo versions of Trilogy and Armageddon.
And then the C is the male. Okay, I got it.
Yep.
Okay, I was just making sure my convention was right on that because I only remember those characters from Armageddon because they were there, and I think the female was on another version, but quote me if wrong. But yeah, any other opinions on the trailers before we move on? Oh,
No, I'm good.
okay. Going once, going twice. The soul to the Shao Kahn that is beating out Raiden in Mortal Kombat 9. So we're going to move on to this question. Now, this is probably also going to take kind of long, but it's the combat pack. So they showed that as well. And all the characters came out and showed those leaks to be even more valid. We had Takeda, Ermac, Quan Chi, Homelander, Peacemaker, and Omni-Man. What do you think of Combat Pack 1, and will you possibly be picking it up?
I just want to get mine out of the way real quick.
Sure.
I'm halfway interested because the Mortal Kombat characters we're getting, I'm happy about because I wanted Ermac back. I'm glad we got Quan Chi and Takeda. The three guest characters. Yeah, the three guest characters, however, I really almost have I don't really have any much knowledge of. Like, I know about Omni-Man from Invincible, and I've heard of Homelander. I barely know about Peacemaker. I don't know what series those two are
He's
from.
a
So
DC
those two.
character.
He's DC Comics.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right,
But I
guess
can't
that.
see him.
Oh yeah, John Cena.
Oh, yeah, 'cause he's-
It's John Cena's face, man. I was so surprised by that.
He's gonna be tournament banned because his hitboxes are invisible. But yeah, I'm one of the few people. I'm also one of the few people that doesn't really mind Ermac's looks because he's always been, kind of a gray skinned, kind of emaciated mummy looking guy. Only now this time he's less of a mummy. Now he looks more like some kind of mutant, like some kind of ugly monster thing. I mean, like I said, I'm okay as long as he's got the green powers and the red, as like a red cloak or something, and maybe like one of his classic costumes as DLC. Like I also hope that we get his deception costume as an option, because that I liked his deception costume, Ermac's deception costume.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's really all I got to say about the Combat Pack 1.
I guess I can go next. Go ahead, Brendan.
Okay, well, I'll make my kind of brief.
Mm.
I am sort of in a camp of JoJo, but not for the same reasons. I obviously know the characters like Homelander, Omni-Man, and Peacemaker, right? But I'm not necessarily super excited. Granted, that could be because of the leaks I knew they're coming beforehand. But yeah, I don't have the same hype. It doesn't have the same hype factor compared to other guest characters we had in the past, personally. But that could be changed when we see more gameplay and maybe hear the voices of the characters, right? Now, what I take issue with actually is the 2 out of 3 MK characters, which is Quan Chi and Ermac. And my honest opinion, though, those guys should have been at least in the base game. I don't see a reason for them to not be in there. But most importantly, though, Ermac's design is horrible. Like, this is probably the worst design Ermac we had since MKX, in my opinion. I don't like MKX on Ermac design, personally. They should have stuck with either MK11, just maybe modify it a little bit to fit more the style of MK1, or go back to how they had it with the classic games with Deception, Armageddon, and 9. But yeah, so in terms of like hype or whatever, though, I'm not super excited for it though. It was just like, okay, yeah, I know the guys were coming, right? So it's just a matter of time, if not when they announce it.
I somewhat echo some of the stuff, but I want to sort of give my own opinion on it. So it's true that because of the leak, it sort of diminished my excitement. And it's not saying that like I'm not excited for these characters, because some of them are pretty cool. Like I definitely played with Takeda a lot in Mortal Kombat X, so I'm kind of excited for him. His design looks fine for the most part. It looks exactly how I thought it would look when I saw him come out. Just the little exosuit with the trend on it, and it had the yellow and everything. So he looked completely fine. I have no problem with that. Ermac looks like what would happen if Frankenstein was mashed into glue. Like he looks horrible. Like it's a face that a mother couldn't love. It's really bad. I don't get why
uglier than Baraka. It's possible now.
He's somehow uglier than Baraka, and Baraka's like a skin graft victim. He's terrible. Like, dude, what did they do to this man's face? What the fuck?
Yeah, Ermac is unironically ugly, and that's saying a lot considering he's dead. He's a corpse. He's supposed to be quote unquote ugly, right? But that's why he has bandages on his face. Like,
Bren, I just want to say I'm also very proud of you for not going for the other joke you made about what you thought he looked like. The other day.
Bring it up, dog.
Where I said he looked like Grey Cum. I mean,
there you go. There it is.
Oh my fucking god!
Oh my god.
23 skidoo.
From the podcast take over.
God damn it! All right, but I'm gonna go back to topic, but still, like, I liked. I mean, even though people, just have their issue, he looked like a mummy in MKX. At least it was just better than this design. It's like, geez.
Real quick, I'm gonna pick a translation here. No one's gonna pick up Homelander. Continue.
So I mean, oh god. Okay, so
I mean, if Army Man is in the game, is in the combat pack, why choose Homelander?
Well, see, like, I know someone like, say, was a Fortnite mentioned this too. Like, you got 2 of the same type of archetype characters. So how are they going to handle this?
Well,
I think
wouldn't even
someone
say that.
mentioned. well, barring the popularity of the characters, right? Like you do
Yeah.
have the same type of archetypture type characters, right? But I think they're going to do how they did it in Injustice, where you make one a rushdown and one a power type, or maybe a zoner. Consider Xander
So
X.
like
They
a
love zoners.
so like a Superman, Supergirl.
Yeah,
The Superman Supergirl or Superman Zod from Injustice One.
yeah.
I
Like,
could see Omni-Man being the Superman one because he's a more serious. Homelander might have similar to Supergirl's moveset because he doesn't take shit seriously, right?
yeah, I don't think they're gonna be, because people, we talked about this in the server. I don't think they're gonna be uncreative to make these characters play inherently the same despite having similar powers. I think Omni-Man and Homelander is gonna be vastly different from each other with how they play. And NRS has done it before, so it's probably gonna be done again. In terms of excitement, I can't really say I've seen the boys. I've seen all the random stupid shit that Homelander does. So if I'm gonna be perfectly honest, my excitement for him is probably the lowest in this combat pack, just like everybody else. I sort of feel the same. But for the Homelander fans out there who like the boys and they like that character, I guess kudos. I'm excited for Omni-Man because I like Invincible a lot. So, and J.K. Simmons is coming back to voice him, so that is pretty hype to me.
He is the character.
Yup, it's
Like, what else? What else? He's not supposed to. Don't put him in the game and not have
J.K.
the
Simmons,
voice.
and he's willing to do it. So I think that's the best thing for the fans, honestly. And Peacemaker is John Cena, so once again they're using his face. So fingers crossed that they're gonna also use his voice, which I think they will. And that's going to lead to me saying a lot of "you can't see me" jokes. I'm also excited for him to think I can't see you. And it's like that's gonna be real funny. And Quan Chi is just, I've never been the biggest Quan Chi person, but I do understand his relevance to the Mortal Kombat story, especially Scorpions. He is that man's nemesis 100%. So I do agree with Brandon, like he should have been in the main roster and plot, because that's what he does. He's there to torment people as a sorcerer, and it makes Scorpion's story a lot more interesting when you find out that he's the one who really killed all his family after all these years. So they could have, I know people were like, oh, it's a retread and all this shit, but they could have still done something interesting even if it was Quiet Lang. Like, what if he, did all the stuff behind the scenes and pitted him against Smoke? So it's kind of a missed opportunity. Now, I'm not discounting the fact that he probably could still show up and currently, not be playable until the combat pack, but yeah, they should have capitalized on that most definitely from all things considered. So that's my opinion on the characters. I think there are some that are exciting, and there are some that I'm just like, well, Homelander, and I'm not really that excited about it.
Takeda should have been the only character to be in the base roster. You give that boy respect.
I like Takeda too.
Now, which
So.
Takeda is it though?
Well, it looks like he's the MKX one. I know some people said there's another guy named Takeda as well who was a Grandmaster or something.
The original Scorpion.
Yeah, the original. So it's like, but then after I saw him, I'm like, this is definitely Kishi's son. So
like maybe. Someone zoomed in, I just saw on Twitter, and the character's face looks a lot older than.
Is it?
It's older, so I'm like. Is it Hanzo? Is it the original Takeda? Is it Takeda from a different timeline where he's a little bit older? Or
I'm still gonna reserve my judgment and say that it's the one from X because of just how the costume is. But hey, if they throw a curveball, anything can happen. It just kind of feels a little bit weird.
It might be part of a DLC storyline they'll probably do for this game. Oh.
Yeah, they could do their own like aftermath, so that still could be in the cards. Except for the superhero characters, I don't think they're gonna be included at all. Hell no.
No, they're just there to sell a combat pass.
Yeah,
and they could, or just for this one, like Tekken did with Akuma.
That was kind of cool, but yeah, I don't expect them to go the extra mile with that.
The storyline went nowhere.
Well, that's another topic for another day. I was just gonna skip right past that one.
Yeah. But honestly, I'm not a fan of there being two Superman-like characters, and the fact that the guests take up half the pass. Honestly, I feel like they should have just left it at one, but that's just me.
This
No
is
Michael Myers though. I'm kind of sad.
it's the MKX argument all over again. I see. I just say for people waiting for other characters to show, just it's going to be multiple combat packs anyway. It depends on how long NRS actually supports this game, which is the thing that I don't blame people being worried about. So I think personally it should be 2-3 more combat packs in my opinion, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, if WV doesn't force them to go on like Injustice 3.
Yep, because they did say in interviews that's still happening. It's just gonna happen on new engines, so it does make me wonder how long they're gonna support this game before Injustice 3.
They didn't force him to. They did not force him to do anything. They chose to do it in Mortal Kombat, right? So if they wanted to, they could do MK 13. If they wanted to.
That'd be cool, but Boone did literally tell us like, next thing is Injustice on Unreal 5, so I'm just sort of waiting to see how long they support it. But if it gets like good life, I would say like maybe 5-6 years. That's pretty good to me. So
For another round game?
yeah, it's wishful thinking. It is the wishful thinking. I'm throwing that out there. Anyone else on thoughts on these characters from the combat packs?
Real interesting choices, I'll say that.
How you figure, Justin? Any elaboration you want to add on to that?
I mean, Omni-Man I can easily understand because like Invincible did gangbusters in terms of reception.
Yeah.
But I'm still confused like on leaving out like just like the rest of you, like leaving out people like Quan Chi and Ermac from the base roster and relegating them to DLC. Quan Chi especially, I'm like, this dude is a fucking asshole, and you decide not to use him in the plot for once? Like, what?
They also could have played up on the Deadly Alliance reference again, because they kind of did that in MK11, I believe. Well, it's like, oh, we have Shang Tsung, Quan Chi, will slight Deadly Alliance, and then they get bodied. So they still could have did something like that.
That is a missed opportunity too. Ironically enough, the both more DLC. But yeah, that would have been interesting if both of them were under influence of Damaji.
I mean, hey, if they all end up playing well, then I mean, why the hell not? But again, at least some real interesting choices in terms of like the guest characters. Again, outside of Omni-Man.
Anyone else connecting? You got any opinions on this?
Oh, when you said Shang Tsung, I could always think about, hey, first it was Goro, and now Shao Kahn, and now Shang Tsung being the pre-ordered character. Unless you unlock him from story, which is probably going to be the case.
Put Goro and a combat pack too, for the love of fucking God. Why not?
Yo, you really want chaos, do you?
I do, but I mean, you could just keep Shiva out of that, and I think we'll be fine because her stomp was overpowered in 11.
Don't jinx it.
I might be.
The one character I didn't buy from MK11. They can keep that character.
Yeah,
She was obnoxious in MK11. Jesus Christ, I hate that woman.
With the stomp.
Yeah, do like stomp shit off, among other things she can do. Like she was.
It was so
annoying.
bad they had to nerf her.
It took a woman crying on stream for them to nerf her, man. That's
yeah,
pathetic.
like a year, I think.
Jesus, man, I didn't know all this. That's a new revelation.
It was insane.
Well, at least she got the nerf hammer, so I'm quite happy about that. All right. Any other opinions? Going once, going twice?
I mean,
what?
So, if you had the choice of picking the next combat pack, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a loaded one, man.
Oof. I definitely think Jade should be on the next one. It's they already are referencing her as a countess. So it seems like she already has storyline ties either way it goes with the fact that she exists. So why not?
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, they better not leave her out, dude. I would be so mad.
I think they should put Striker in the next pass, or at least in the base.
Lord.
Yeah, I agree.
I would like that. I would like to have Striker in one of the combat packs, honestly.
Yeah, he needs to come back, dude. He was so cool in MK9. Yeah,
Police brutality coming up.
I love him, but I swear, like Boone just keeps being so indecisive on Stryker. Is like, oh well, here's Stryker, and then when he came out, I was so excited in the trailer. I was like, oh, police brutality, but I'm like, he's a cameo now, so I was like, well, fuck, I'm not as excited as I would be if he was in the base roster.
But yeah, if you're gonna do another combat pack, Striker would at least satisfy me enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yeah, I would use him a lot. He was my main in MK. Well, he's one of my mains at MK9, so I wouldn't mind him.
And also Chameleon, just because where you can change as any of the where you have all the ninja moves.
That's kind of what they were trying to experiment with Shang Tsung in 11, where he had like a super dedicated to that and moves dedicated to that. So I wouldn't mind. It'd be like human Triborg. So I guess they could do something crazy like that.
I would like for Triborg to come back if they don't bring back the individual cyborgs.
I'd be fine with that. I like the Smoke, Sub-Zero, the secret one, and all the other variants. So
I wouldn't mind them, making Hydro cannon.
Hydro,
Chrome, let's go.
oh god, Chrome.
Because he's supposed to be like a water cyborg, would be cool.
So high key though.
Oh well,
H2O.
who else I could think of for potential? Oh, you know what? I mean, Darius. Why not? Because he's kind of already a cameo, so he could be a DLC character. That'd work. And Movado, because he's also elite cameo.
Hotaro.
Movado would be cool.
Ray Cornbuckle has an
Hornbuckle, yes, there we
DLC.
go.
You know,
I guess the one I've been wanting the most for the longest, probably Havoc and Hotaru, and I guess for a guest character, I'm just gonna say it, Doom Guy.
he fit MK, so I won't be against it. No, it was good. And Jojo, you're getting one of your Doomslayer. I mean, he literally almost pulled someone's head off with their ID. So I mean, he's angry enough to do it.
Jojo, one of the characters you mentioned, you're getting your wish.
Yep.
Havoc or Hotaru.
Havoc.
Okay, cool. We got the cooler one out of the two. Nice. I'm happy about that.
I do want Hotaru to come back. I want that chaotic, neutral character to come in and just wreck everything.
Like a cool little ability he could have, like I guess for a variation, is like he'd hit you with a move that would like swap some of your button inputs, like your X button would be your Y button, your jump would be crouch or something like that. And if you hit him with an EX variant, it would make two of the buttons swap. Like that'd be a cool gameplay idea to make him truly embrace the art of chaos, like he's always preaching about.
You know, I'm gonna say it. I think it could be the time to do a Serena, Kira, and Cobra arc. You could probably reinvent those characters, make something of them, and do something with them from there. So I wouldn't mind them showing up. In terms of guests, I can't really think of anyone else but Michael Myers.
Ghostface.
That would be pretty cool, but it's knife character, so
Ghostface though.
I mean, it don't matter really. It could be original character for sake of the game. It don't matter. It's just you're not gonna see their face in a way.
The sad part is that he said Ghostface. My mind fucking went to the Scary Movie version instead.
Oh my god!
He just comes in.
Yeah, use that version.
It's Scorpion. Wazza!
He would have the mask of him with his tongue sticking out as one of like the costume pieces you could get.
When he wins, he's stoned.
What would he say his favorite scary movie is?
Like that, like his brutality pose animation would be him picking up his phone, like, "What's up, G? Just watching the game, having a bud."
That sounds like a friendship to me. It really does.
That does sound like a friendship. Yeah.
Oh man. But that was fun. That was a fun little divergence. So we can move on to the next one if anyone has any sort of ideas for the next combat pack. Go once, go twice.
Nah, I got nothing.
Okay, that's fine. So this is the big one. Super spoilers, but we already stated that. So, they leaked out some of the base roster. And most of this is coming true, is coming into fruition, as well as the reveals that we got off of it. So we're gonna ask people from these characters that's on the base roster, is there anything interesting you want to sort of say about them while they're here, or the ones that were brought up before? So who wants to go first on this?
I guess I could start by saying I'm actually glad Ashura, if this leaked list is true, Ashura and Natara, I've been wanting them to come back for a while. They were two of my favorite 3D era characters. Oh, cool.
Amen.
The list says we are getting Jax, if this is correct. So that's good. That's a little bit of relief. Let's see who else we got here. I see the cameos.
Well,
Reptile. I'm glad he's coming back.
from San Diego Comic-Con the other day, we know who is coming so far. Well, they recently confirmed Reiko.
Yep, I saw the cutscene. He's there.
Champion.
I'm wondering if Motaro is actually going to be in the game somehow, other than the cutscene, because I know that's going to make a certain person on our server a little bit miffed. Love you, by the way.
I don't think that
Motaro.
I don't think that he's going to be playable, but I think that
He might be
maybe
a boss.
possible sub boss. Yes, I think that could very well happen, which is going to piss me off too because I hate Motaro. But yeah,
Right. But yeah, I'll just be honest. I'm one of the few people who never really liked Reiko, because I like in MK4 he was kind of bland. Like the only thing that people honestly remember him for, besides his sort of allegiance to Shao Kahn, was the meme of him always going into Shao Kahn's throne room and wearing his helmet and sitting in his throne. Like, that's really all we know, is that little thing that I'm surprised isn't a weird, internet meme by now.
he wants to be a con, man. Maybe he'll have the opportunity to do
like,
that.
The
He
plan
looks at
was to have
himself.
him. The
Yeah.
plan was to have him replace Shao Kahn completely, though, but they backtracked on that for
Like,
the GameCube port Deception because they retconned Shao Kahn and stuff.
right? Because I also like to think that that Reiko, he likes to, like how he always wears Shao Kahn's helmet. He's always standing, looking at himself in the mirror, going, "Would you
Yeah.
conquer me? I'd conquer me. I'd conquer me hard."
Buffalo
I'd
Bill,
conquer
what the
me
fuck?
so. Like, Buffalo Khan.
Oh man,
That's
dude.
the last
Yeah,
crap I expected to hear at all today. I'm just gonna say right now, god damn.
You're welcome, by the way.
That's funny.
Where is like hey, you want to talk about MK4 memes? We need to bring back Jared and Sonya, so we can have that infamous meme again.
Why are you so
Don't we have that on the soundboard?
We don't, but I could put that there. So thanks for
Black
the
Dragon died with Kano. You're the last one, Jarek. Never. What the
Wait, I think I remember that.
Yo, yeah, those endings were just one of the memorable things about MK4, as well as someone getting slapped in the head, knocked down. I think it was Sub-Zero. I forget, but
I remember Stryker punching out Molina.
yeah, that too. I'm just looking at these characters. Okay, Gearus is
Of
well.
course, he has to be there. He has to be.
If he is there, then I'm going to have to pick him because
Because this is still related to time, right? New
Yeah.
era, so.
yeah, and I think that'd be a nice consequence for Liu Kang, where it's just like, you might have changed time around, but you're not the only one that remembers, buddy. So I would like that to be a sort of threat in the plot, to be honest.
It would be interesting. Like that he
Like
remembers everything and he says, well, let me try to set the time right.
Yeah, like he exists, like, because he exists forever. Like when he reset the universe, all he really did was reset everything except him. So now he's back wherever he is, meaning he's out of the blood ocean.
Well, I know a certain someone would be pissed off.
Mhm.
Kano and Sonya Blade playable, according to the leaks.
Oh, let me guess. Starts with a B.
Yeah.
I say, no, staying out of Troubleville today. Let me look. Who else I want to point out? The rest is just typical to me. I do love the more tailored deception characterizations and personality here to the whole list, because it's what people have been asking for a while, for those characters to be represented, and now they're being represented. So you got your Havoc, Reiko, Natara, Lime, Ashura. That's pretty good. The one I'm excited the most for, in my opinion, is the Jobber himself, Reptile, because I was a Reptile main in MK2. I love using him in MK9, so it feels really good that most of the ninjas are in this game, which I thoroughly appreciate.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this roster.
Yeah, same, and even the cameos look cool. Except the fact that, well, I think it's cool that Tremor's on there. I wish Movado was main roster, and then same for the cyborgs. But I guess sometimes beggars can't be choosers. Combat pack.
I'm ready for Cyrax.
I mean, I'm fine with the roster. The only thing I don't care about is it's definitely like Gearus. He's just boring to me.
I just think Gearus is overpowered, and I will be using him if.
I mean, if they want to bring a robot playable, might as well bring back the robot smoke variant.
I miss Cyber Smoke, man. God damn, that motherfucker's cool.
Cyber Smoke. This man could destroy. This man could blow up a planet by how many bombs releasing from his chest?
He doesn't need to be cyborg anymore.
Yeah, human smoke was always better.
I mean, I didn't mind both, but that's just a discussion for another day. But I do like Human Smoke. I always transformed into him in MK Trilogy, I believe, or whichever. I think it's Ultimate. But yeah, it's a fine list. Now, I have a better question. Is there a character that you see that you would probably remove for somebody else?
I mean, definitely Gearus, and then put in Striker.
Okay, that's
I'll take my idea.
Interesting as well.
I would.
I would probably take away Garrus. Shit. Yeah, I would probably take away Garrus and place him with like Jade or something. She's not in the game already.
I would remove Reiko and maybe replace him with Hotaru, or maybe I don't know, Kano. I still like Kano. I'm sorry. I'm still a little weirded out that we don't have a playable Kano.
I love Kano.
Every single.
I mean,
game
I
that they
know it's
won.
certain someone that's probably relieved that Kano's not in it.
Starts with a B.
God damn.
Oh.
Well, it is a bit weird that
Watch they release him as free DLC. Watch,
Like,
it's gonna be
one
a
of
troll.
the original fighters isn't in the base roster for this game.
Well, one of the two fighters. Or actually, no. Yeah, one of the two.
I still have a strong
Kano and Sonya.
Yeah, Kano and Sonya, but I still have a strong suspicion that if they do support this game enough, they probably will be DLC. So
I still think Kano's gonna be somewhat playable, like a surprise, before the game comes out.
oh yeah,
Here's the thing that didn't get leaked. Kano.
so if it happens, or if it is a secret, because MK still has a ton of secrets, that's what it's known for. I would not be personally shocked. Characters I would remove though, shit, I have no idea. I would try to get rid of someone and put Jade in though. So
Who's Farah again?
Ferrator is the little tiny character with the big ogre on the back.
Oh.
Pharaoh's the small one. Toro's the big one.
Oh,
Yeah, from MKX.
Yep.
Remove him with a Kintaro cameo. I'll be good.
I mean, cameos are like whatever because they're not playable anyway.
Yep. So I'm not even going to lose sleep over that one.
Yeah, it doesn't. Seeing the cameo list, it doesn't bother me. The only thing that I would kind of, if I had the opportunity and would move, I would be like, hey, put the cyborgs in, and then maybe Movado. But that's it. That's really it.
Yeah, Garrus is whack. Just replace him with Striker.
I didn't care much about Trimmer, so but fans got what they wanted, so I'm not thoroughly against it. But yeah, maybe more.
Trimmer MKX.
Oh, Trimmer fighting Trimmer online, that brings back the days.
The PC mods is gonna make those cameos playable. It's gonna be hilarious.
100% certain because that happened with MKX a lot. I was like, oh shit, you got
Oh, I haven't all of them done 10, 11.
who was playable in 11 that wasn't in the main game?
The cyborg.
Cyrax.
Sector and Cyrax.
Really? Nice gameplays.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, Scorpion and Sub-Zero fight them in their chapter in MK11.
No,
They have Triborgs moveset just with obviously with their Cyber Sector counterparts.
interesting. I guess we can.
Move on then.
Yeah, I guess.
But
we
yeah,
Oh.
in terms of the leaked roster, I mean, that's fine. I don't really have issues with it, except that I don't really like Gearus, but that's just me.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, believe me, I will body you with them for free. All right, let's move on to question number 7. So, this is for the people that played the beta. Did you play the closed beta for Mortal Kombat 1? If so, what changes should be improved? And that goes between walk speed, animations, nerfs, or buffs, meter alterations, and anything else you've seen in the beta. So this is for me, Brandon, and Kaneki. So who wants to go first?
I'll just mute myself then.
Okay.
You want to go first, Kaneki?
I'll go last.
Okay. Well, I go first then. So going into the stress test, I was pleasantly surprised how fun it was. Because like again, like going just based on how it looks, it may seem like it's MK11, and it still is. It still has that MK11 like look to it, flair to it. But in reality, it feels more like MK9 in terms of playstyle, and MKX in terms of combo potential, especially second the cameo on top of it. But overall, though, yeah, the game feels absolutely amazing to play, and I can't wait to play it more because I need more characters to play with. But that being said, though, I do have some concerns, right? Because the walk speed that's been confirmed to be in the works of being fixed up, right? Animations, certain ones like for the cameos are a lot faster now, so it speeds up the gameplay, so that's good. Now, as far as nerfs, I think Kenshi could use a little nerf hammer because his damage potential with his stand, especially those loops he can do, is honestly kind of absurd. If you know the right combinations, you can literally do up to 60% damage. And believe me, I've been on receiving end.
And did you call?
What?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was gonna say, did you call that thing a stand? The blue
Yeah.
the blue shadow thing?
Oh, here we go.
There. Okay. I just wanted to confirm. Carry on.
Yeah, so that with the combo potential we have for that thing though, I think they could at least reduce his damage scaling down quite a bit because it's absolutely insane that you don't necessarily need a cameo to win a battle with Kenji because for stars, your cameo is locked out if you summon your ghost with you. So with that in mind though, like he is a little too strong in my opinion. They could at least dial back his damage potential in favor of just doing combos. Let's see, the ones who need buff especially is Katana. She's pretty much the air queen. I'm not going front. She has a lot of ways to get you in the air and do air combos or catch you out the air. She's the air queen, but her damage is absolutely bad compared to the other 3 characters that were available. So give her a little damage buff. No, I think she'd be fine. And oh lord, I know this will happen anyway, but get rid of her infinite because someone tried to pull that shit on me online. I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm gonna kill you and do fatality and back out because I ain't playing with that shit.
Yeah, like they're gonna 100% like nerf the infinite.
Yeah, that was so weird how that man slipped through the cracks of, but it happens, right? You can't catch everything. But yeah, nah, fuck that.
There's gonna be another character that's gonna do infinite once the game comes out.
Yeah, who knows?
I think I know his name too, but fucking Scorpion.
The last thing though is the meter alterations. Honestly though, I think combo breakers needs to be cheaper because it takes 3 bars plus a cameo assist to break stuff now. Now the reason behind
Holy crap!
the reason behind it is because you could break fatal blows. However, though, that feels like almost a lie in one way. The initial hit that fatal blow can do, you can combo break that. Once the animation starts with the cinematic stuff, it cannot be broken. You stuck in. Because of that reason alone, and how easy it is to stealth fatal blows now, in contrast to MK11, which could be a good or bad thing depending on who you ask. I think I think combo breakers needs to be cheaper. At the most, I think it should be at least 2 bars. 2 bars for combo breaker, if not a 1 bar. Because you already need a cameo on top of having 3 meters, so you're wasting a lot of resources like that way. So in my opinion, though, they definitely should reduce the requirements for combo breakers because this game. Hold on, Joe. This game is going to be a huge combo potential like MKX is. Just meter combo breakers are going to be a lot more expensive than how they were in MK9 and X because those games require 2 bars to combo break. What was you gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna say, just throwing it out there. What if they do like a combo break, like a deception, where you just have like 3?
3 stocks.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with that, but I think they should at least have a refill every round, or at least when the last set is done, do like a refill of combo breakers. That way, just in case don't want to like constantly have to worry about getting caught off guard and whatever, right? But yeah, I think the best approach that has combo breakers ever had, in my opinion, was in Deception and Armageddon. You got 3 stocks, and that's it. If you blow them all, GG's from there. Unlike in MK8, which is DC 9 and 10, you have the meter style of combo breakers and
Rage meter, I think.
Yeah, Rage is for DC. But yeah, I would much rather have the Deception Armageddon approach over what we have now because combo breakers is super expensive for no reason.
Yeah, if I am going to interject, I would agree. Using a whole bar to get combo broke is stupid. I think that it's fine if you lose it gradually per like 1 bar. So like the small little bar goes down. If you use it once, you use it again, and then you got 1 more, and then after that you're out. You have to build up meter in order to get it again, or even use a super. So there is risk and reward for doing it that way. I don't see why they say whole bar, and then once you use it, you're fucked if subs get you in the corner and then does the combo that he does with the ice spine, and then you're just out of there. That's one thing that they could fix and take into consideration is how they're going to implement this new breaker system and not have it whole meter dedicated. The other thing that I think they should fix is I had a problem with this when I was playing it was when I did a certain air combo to someone in the corner and I managed to get them up there. Sometimes my character would move to the other side of the screen and switch their position. So I'm in the middle of a combo, and I'm like, I turn from the left to the right. And I found that confusing as fuck. I'm like, why isn't my character is doing that? Because it sort of threw me off so much that I couldn't continue the combo from there. And I actually dropped it several times because of that. So I think that needs to be fixed where if you're in the air and you're doing a combo from the left, you should be able to finish it no problem. Or the opponent should be able to break it if they have the meter.
Can I interject with that one actually?
Sure.
It happened to me a lot with Sub-Zero in particular. One solution I had was not to hold forward, just only hold up to do a combo when you're stuck in the corner. Because like that's the more consistent way for me to like not have my character go and flip to the other side, and I miss my ground bounce I wanted to do with Sub-Zero. But yeah, they need to fix that one for sure because it's absolutely annoying that something that's not out of my control that I'll drop my combo with.
Yeah, and it's just like if it's just super simple as either the buttons holds as you mentioned or just having it complete normally. I think one way or the other that's probably the best solution to fix that right away. And then I had some gradual glitches and bugs, like I had the stage go black on me. I'm sure this won't be in the main game, but every time I went to do a fatality on someone, I would get some situations where the entire stage would black out. I was just like, who turned on the lights? What's going on? Is this like a peep show or something? I have no idea. So that's one of the glitches they also have to fix, as well as the walk speed, which is obvious because I just can't. Even though Liu Kang is like really good in this game and you can easily follow up with like a dragon and then teleport to the side of the screen if you hit them with it, I had instances where if I tried to jump in on someone, I just felt way too slow to do it. Naturally speaking, they could tighten it up a little bit more, and they still have time, of course. So someone said they should just increase it to like 10%, and that'd be fine. I think that's the ideal solution. And the last issue I had was I think they need to do something with some of the grabs, because I did a grab on someone and my cameo was out. and I'm not sure if it was a forward grab or whatever. I think it's that. But if you call the cameo before then and you do a forward grab, guess what's gonna happen? You're going to grab the opponent and push them away. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh, now I think about it, they're cameo dependent because they do grabs. So if I do that and try to grab someone, I'm gonna push them. I still think there should be an animation where the character you're fighting with should do a grab regardless if your cameo's out, and they should fix that. And that's all the issues I have with the beta so far. So Kaneki, it's your turn. Any of your issues from the beta and playing it?
I think y'all pointed out the most important issues, but I will double down mostly on the walk speed, especially when you're fighting characters like Liu Kang and Sub-Zero, because let me break it down shortly. Day one of the closed beta, or MK1, or the stress test. For the most part, it was fine. You were discovering new combos, using like the 4 characters that you have chose for the beta. You're experiencing the mechanics well, right? And then there's day 2. Everyone knows how to fucking play the game more of a sudden, and you can't fucking react, all because of the way the walk speed is. Especially if you fight someone like Liu Kang or Sub-Zero. Oh boy, you're in deep shit at that point.
Yep, it's certain people. I know it's gonna be strong. I've seen people completely combo me off the ice strings, and because ice clone is back, you're gonna want to be fast as possible to deal with people
more
like
overpowered than ever.
Yep. You could throw them out and throw ice punches at the same time. So it's just like I kind of just need to be a little bit more faster to deal with some of these shenanigans, and I think they should. I heard they definitely fixed speed and things like that, animations, and tightened it up before launch with some of these betas. So naturally speaking, I think the next one's going to be a lot better. I'm just hoping their character selection is a little bit more vast than this one. And that's all I have to say about it, really. And especially doubling down on that point, because look at Tekken's beta, they got like fucking a whole lot of people playable. Just throw me an extra bone, that's it. We're gonna move on to the last question for the beta players, and that's who is your favorite character to use in the beta and why? And I guess I'll start off with Brandon. Brandon? I think he's dead. So
Oh, my apologies, sorry. I was reading something. What was the question again?
we're on the last question where we're talking about the characters in the beta and who's really great from, best to worst.
That's the worst. Talk about objectively or people who you play with.
It could be either or, really.
All right. Well, in terms of personal enjoyment, I would say Sub-Zero, Liu Kang, Kenji, then Katana. No, actually, no. I take that back. No, I picked Kenji last because I had enough time to play with all of his kit. Quite frankly, because he's like honestly a completely different character compared to how he was in the previous titles that he was playable in. So I'll put him last only because I didn't have enough time to really sit down and figure out his new gameplay loop. But who is the best objectively speaking? I would say is a toss-up between Liu Kang and Kenji. Liu Kang because like he has everything on his belt in my opinion, especially if you use Jax, like he's an absolute monster. And Kenji, because of his damage potential with his stand, is absolutely nutty. Like again, you can do up to 50-60% damage on the right combo loops. He's insane, and it's technically unbreakable damage. If there's no gap in between his attacks. But even still, even if there are gaps, still he does have some pretty good 50-50. So like you can't catch him that easily. So it's a toss-up between those two in terms of the best.
Yeah, I think for me personally it was Liu Kang, because to me personally, the thing I was catching people the most with was his launcher is very easy to go into, and I think people who can launch easily, like him, Scorpion, and the other characters, Sub-Zero, are going to be the one doing all those fancy air combos. So I found him to be the most enjoyable and the character I used the most. Sub-Zero's next because I mean his ice clone is very, very good for people trying to anti-air and jump in. They'll just
Ice clones with EX.
He could do 3 with EX. He could do the quick EX slide. Sub-Zero should not be slept on in this game, and he is not, because people are doing insane damage with him. His launcher is slow, and you could get punished if you obviously get it on block, or if someone just whiffs,
You will.
yeah, you will be punished. But if it hits, you're going up in the air and you're going to be combo for massive damage. So it's really nice when that happens. So I say Sub-Zero is a good one to use, but he definitely has some faults versus Liu Kang. And then there's Kenshi. He's obviously doing like a lot of damage. I'm not sure if I was just playing stupid though, because I didn't get enough chance to practice with him, but I was trying to learn launchers and stuff like that. It seems the main thing with Kenshi is using that little stand thing. And I was getting people in situations where it's like the stand is behind them and I'm in front of them trying to combo them, and they just cannot do anything. They're getting mixed up to fucking hell and back. So I think you're going to be in situations like that with Kenshi trying to use them. And the person I used the least was Katana. It's not saying that she's not fun, because her fan combo is very easy to do. It was just I didn't get enough time to play with her, so that's the only reason behind it. And that's how I feel about the characters I played so far.
Yeah, actually, I didn't finish up my last portion though, which is fine. But I was gonna say, like, yeah, I agree with you on Sub-Zero. Like, he's definitely, definitely nutty though. The reason why I just played Kenshi and Liu Kang above him, because like they're safer characters and whatnot. On top of, Liu Kang has better zoning than Sub-Zero, and Kenshi just has better damage than Sub-Zero. So just those two factors alone are just make him better. But if you don't sleep on Sub-Zero, like you said though, because he can be a damage monster. Well, that being said though, I think Katana's the worst character because I think she's just the weakest overall compared to the rest of the characters. Yeah, I mentioned earlier that she's the air queen. She can do some very nice nutty stuff with air combos or whatever, and get you set up for air combos. But her damage output pales in comparison to the other three characters. So they could probably gotta work on that.
Yeah, and like I said, Sub is when it gets opened up, it hurts, but he's very good for those people who like to jump in and be rush down people without thinking. I had a really good set on day 3, and watching that video is a prime example because all this Kenshi was trying to do was jump in and he kept getting iced over and over again. So it's a part of me is like, oh, I saw why they took out Ice Clone, but there's another part that said, oh, I'm glad it's back because I'm fighting people like that are sheer stupid and they don't know how to counter that move properly with Kenshi by throwing swords and using the stand. So I got some good wins out of that, and I thought that's pretty entertaining to watch. So last one on this question, I guess, would be Kaneki. Any thoughts on characters that you used in the beta?
I guess I would put Kenshi the least because I really didn't have time for putting more work or training with Kenshi. As for the most of the beta, I was using the rest of the characters like Kang, Sub-Zero, Katana. Obviously, Liu Kang is number one because this man literally has everything from that stress test. If you was to go back to as well, what we see from that stress test, what Liu Kang can do, I'm pretty sure almost half of those will be like toned down for when the game comes out, unless they find another way to make him be ridiculously overpowered. And Sub-Zero is like a really close second in my opinion, especially like Ren said, if your opponent does not know how to block, his launcher can be ridiculous and you could do insane damage. I would recommend if you use Liu Kang as your main, make sure you use with the Sonya cameo, because once you know how to use Sonya's grab moves while you're doing the Liu Kang combos, oh man, the amount of damage he can do, you might as well just put down your controller like it's Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3.
Yeah, if you combo that in with like the grab and then you just come up and do like the launcher or whatever, you're getting juggled like hardcore. I've seen people do it. So that's kind of what we think so far of this whole shenanigan fit with Mortal Kombat 1. A lot of news and information coming up. I'm pretty sure there's going to be more Kombat Kasts and more characters, and then obviously the second beta, and then launch is not too far away. So get ready for it, and also get ready for your Switch to explode, because that game's not going to run well on Switch. I'm just saying that in general for the Switch
the
fans.
fan the fan gonna go?
Are you guys getting this game for me for my birthday? It comes out around that time.
Whopper, you might whop for like some change in Luke, and then Luke will get the game for you, and then he'll be like, boom, divorce. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Damn.
Nah, I don't simp like that, so I'm good.
You say you're not a stripper? Wait a minute.
No, I don't simp, nigga. What the fuck?
What the hell, Ryan?
Oh
Yeah,
no.
Rand's loving the strippers apparently.
No, man, it's fine.
Yeah, he loves some men strippers, you know.
What the
You sound a little disappointed that he revealed he's not a stripper, and just saying.
Man,
Yeah, Rand, what's going on with that?
I'm being slandered. I don't know, but it's time to end the podcast. You know what I mean?
Slander? Okay, dude.
Yeah, it's time.
Slander.
Well, see, now it's your turn to be made fun of now.
You know, it's just end the podcast right here. Nothing ever happened.
Delete.
All right, so we will see you guys next time for the next fighting game podcast, which is Virtua Fighter. Fucking playing Virtua Fighter online is a little bit annoying, but we will talk about that, the characters, how we feel about that too. Should be a fun time talking about that when we get to it in August. So we're gonna do outros now. Drill, where can we find you?
Yeah, you can just find me on Twitter if it's still around by then. But
No, it's X now.
yeah, on X. Like,
Oh
yeah,
my
if you want all the Twitter videos, just Google X videos.
There you go.
Ooh, yikes!
He's technically not wrong at that point then.
But yeah, it's Drillbit777 at twitter.com.
All right, Brandon, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me on the X at Mortal Brundle, and you can catch me there. Simple as that. Catch my link tree, all associations, blah blah blah. Yeah, go get fatality or something. Fuck off.
All right then. Whopper, where can we find you?
You can find me at the nearest Burger King. But you can also find me on Twitter, Neurocatatonic. You can also find me on Twitch with the same name, Neurocatatonic, and I will be uploading new things to my YouTube channel, Neurocatatonic Gaming. And yeah. See you guys in the ring.
Jojo, where can we find you?
You could find me on Twitch and the stupid Deadbird site, Xbird, whatever you want to call it, at the Lost Jojo. Xbird. It's just going to be Xbird now.
I sound like a discount porn site.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh,
Good idea. Yeah, I'm gonna on my Twitch, also the Lost Jojo.
Wow.
I'm gonna be streaming Resident Evil 1 on the Sega Saturn, which is really, really fun, by the way. A really, really well-made version of Resident Evil 1. I'm also going to be doing some Halo streams with another person on the IAS, Sugar Bastion. So I've got that coming too. Hope to see at least some of you on that stream.
All right, Justin, where can we find you?
on Twitch and YouTube at Inferno Dragon 343, and on Totally Gonna Die Bird app X videos, fucked in the ass, whatever you want to call it at this point, because it feels like it changes its name every other week, especially since the start of July. Like, oh, what the hell is next time we're gonna call it? X divided by square.
Fix wasn't big call Y.
At Inferno Dragon 3D on that site.
All right, so you can find me on X. It's not X videos, Cornhub, I promise. You can find me on
Might as
X,
well be.
Ren Operative _. You can find me on YouTube at Renegade Operative, and Twitch at Renegade _Operative. And there you go. Kaneki, where can we find you?
You can finally find me on X video.
Oh man.
X Google War Order. There's also the same name that I give on my YouTube channel. Where after this podcast, I'm going to continue playing Tekken 8 Beta, because so far I've been kicking some ass with Jun.
Please let me in the second Tekken 8 beta. Please, Namco, I will fuck your mom. Come on, man. Let me in.
All right.
Let me in.
I'll wait till it's open now.
Let me in. All right. Well, this was a fun podcast. Appreciate all the panelists coming out and having fun, having a good time. And we will see you guys out there on YouTube and Spotify land later. Take care.
And I'll see you guys at Evo in 2 weeks.
Oh,
Oh no. She gonna walk all over the floor, man. Careful.
Dun, dun, dun.
You gonna fight Daigo over there or something?
Walk for Daigo. Let's go.
Walk for
I don't
Daigo.
know. We'll see. We'll see who they put me up against, but I'll be competing in Street Fighter 6 there. So
Oh, word.
Walk for Daigo. Ah. Oh no, I'm gonna end it now.
more like just don't come in last place.
Oh yeah, they're gonna do. Are they doing losers bracket or?
Yo,
I have no idea. There's 7,000 people signed up for that game.
I don't know, cause
Well,
one
Jesus Christ.
1 year I thought they didn't do losers bracket. I don't know why, but then I remember I swear LTG went there. That's probably like
No.
throwing me off, but
No, what they do is before losers bracket, there's a thing called what the fuck is it called? Not runner ups. It's called what the fuck they call it? I forgot what's the term. But it's before any winners and loser brackets.
so it's like a
Oh,
little,
you mean like pools?
little
Yeah,
intermediate
pools.
match?
That's what it's called. They do
Pools,
pools.
yeah.
Oh, that's what. That's what I
She
was
would
thinking.
she would have to go to the pools, and then if she keeps winning, she'll be in the winners and losers brackets
Hmm.
or
Okay.
top whatever.
I mean, I'm only 5 foot, so I can't really go that far in the pools.
Okay, so it's like a little
God damn it.
intermediate thing. That's what I was thinking of. Also, Brandon, eat my ass, you bitch.
What?
Everything.
What the fuck?
Why you want him to eat your ass?
Like, eat my ass after this podcast. Eat my ass. There.
You lying, Morgan.
Brother.
Have a spoon.
Get a spoon out. Get a fork.
All right.